And welcome to episode 871 of Hard Factor. It's Thursday, February 3rd, 2022. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. We got all the hosts today, plus some guests later on in the episode. But the hosts are Mark, Pat, Wes, and I'm Will, to talk with you about what, Wes, in the cup of coffee in the big time.
We got a few mentions, but the big topics are going to be the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class of nominations, and then also the Brian Flores lawsuit that he has filed against the NFL.
Juicy topic. Juicy.
Mm-hmm.
So what's in the TikTok international moment, Mark?
More loss of human jobs, but not humans are going to take over the jobs, but I'm not going to say it's not robots either. And then there's a group of people in the UK that are very angry and probably would be mad at Wes currently, which we'll get to. And it sucks because Wes is our Brexit guy, so we're gonna have to discuss that. Yeah.
Oh,
Did you get lightheaded 2 days in a row on that scream? It looked like it was close there.
No. I today I was just getting it all out. I've been running around right before the show.
Okay.
Last stop though was the mailbox where the Hard Factor Jamaica tea came in. I don't know if you can describe it to the listeners, fellas, but
there's words can't describe it. Yeah.
Have you seen how good it looks?
It's the best shirt we've ever made, I guess.
Also, these stickers with the full leaf.
Nice.
Whoa, I'm gonna be slapping that on everything. So
it looks fantastic.
That looks awesome. Yeah.
I was getting some stress out with the L today.
Okay.
Good. Pat, what you got? What you got?
Oh, we're just talking about war. You know, what is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Right?
Yeah. I'm
absolutely nothing.
Give you an update on the latest round of American troops being deployed.
Classic song.
On the ground.
There they go. Well, they can't let them stay home for too long, Pat. They just got to keep loading them back up. At least that's what Bides is thinking. And the guest, I don't want to bury the lead, but the guests we got coming in, I think it's PFT commenter for sure, and I believe maybe Billy Football. We'll find out. We're taping this part a little bit before we talk to them. We will find out at the end of the show.
We're going to hear about the Super Bowl prediction and also a little bit about the new football team's new name.
Oh, the
new
Commanders.
Name. The Commanders.
Ooh, the Commanders.
Yeah.
We're the Commanders. I've got some commentary on that. I'll save for that section. So
sounds good.
Well, we got a packed show. Let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Cup of coffee in the big time.
All right, let's start off with a fun fact. Did you guys know that high heels were originally worn by men in the 10th century? So men in Europe adopted this now female fashion choice, or, whoever wants to wear them, frankly, mostly females, let's be honest, of heels to make it easier to ride their horses. Adding heels to their boots made it easier to stay in the stirrups. As this article explains, the Persian cavalry wore 9-inch heels, and the trend spread to Europe since they showed that the wearer owned and maintained horses. High heels became associated with the upper class, and boy, am I glad that faded out.
Yeah, what happened? Did guys get too attracted to other guys or something?
You drive sports cars now instead of
my God, you
horses.
guys are such haters.
You don't need it. You don't need a 9-inch heel now to have the nicest car.
Right.
Look, here's the deal. I want to give a piece of knowledge out there to anyone, but especially my short kings. We all moved to Texas in 2009. When we got there, the idea of wearing cowboy boots, very foreign. I got them. Here's the deal. They're heels for men.
They're lifts,
They're a cheat. They give you up to 3 inches. You feel like a fucking boss wearing them. I think heels for men need to come back. And I don't appreciate it's a lady thing, Wes. It's a dude thing.
We're talking about high heels.
You have worse.
The higher the better.
Even a cowboy, Pat, will tell you
they
have worse balance in those things because they're so
long as they
tall.
were thick.
Especially if you've got a tall heel going on, you have worse balance.
You want to wear platform
the calves you get from heels, whoa, baby.
These boys were also using these heels for a practical purpose, right? Which
that's right.
Like wear a heel as high as is practical for you.
I don't know if a 9-inch heel is practical for any occasion.
No, for nobody.
Yeah.
So number one thing ladies say they're attracted to in a man, it's height. So
I'm with you, Pat.
I'm sorry, wealth, then height.
Yeah. Those boots that I got for Christmas that I like to talk about, I wore them at a wedding for the first time, and they give me a good 2 inches, and I felt incredible.
Mental edge.
Yeah.
Getting over that 6 foot hump any way you can do it is like a cheat code. Yeah. Now I'm 6 feet 6'1", 6'1", you know, like
exactly.
that's nice. Yeah.
That's
Man,
nice.
I would be like 6'5" because Wes
floating on air.
Wes says I'm 6 feet tall because I'm a little taller than him, and he
No,
wants
Pat,
to be 5'11".
you're 6 foot tall. We have to do this.
Yep,
You're 6
right.
foot tall. Wes is 5'11" and a half.
Uh-huh.
Will's 5'11", and I'm 5'10".
I
And
don't think I'm taller than Will though.
That sounds
that's
correct.
the story. That's correct.
That
That's
sounds
a fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move
Are you
on.
only 1 inch shorter than Wes and I?
Me, yeah. I'm 5'10". Yeah. Do you not know?
I would say 5'8", 5'10",
5'8".
5'12".
5'12".
No, I thought you said 5'7".
I'm
giving you an inch.
5'10".
I'm giving you an inch.
5'7".
Only an
I thought
inch.
you said
Good
5. I don't
God.
know. I thought you said 5'7".
Could have
No,
sworn
no,
I was
no.
looking down on you a few times.
You heard.
We need to get measured
heard,
out.
You
One
heard
thing-
5'7".
It's hard to hear.
You heard 5'7".
It's hard to hear up here, man.
Mm-hmm.
One thing we do need to do is the hard factor.
PFT's
combine.
5'7".
We
I
gotta
tower
get-
over him.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is the show to be talking about size too.
That's
We can
right.
Get his perspective.
5'7", 5'10", 5'11", 5'11 and a half, 6 feet.
There you go.
That's how it's always been.
All right, let's move on to holidays today. We got a lot of them. American Painters Day, Doggy Date Night, Elmo's Birthday, Feed the Birds Day, Fort Chaplin's Day, International Golden Retriever Day, National Carrot Cake Day, which corresponds with National Carrot Day.
I thought we just had National Carrot Cake Day.
Dude, it's a fucking mess, Mark.
We had Chocolate Cake Day.
I'm positive.
Chocolate Cake Day.
No, I know. This was like 2 months ago. It wasn't like just. I'm positive in the month of December, Carrot Cake Day came
It
up.
probably comes back. It's
Yeah.
probably International Carrot
Ugh.
Cake Day on top
Probably.
of National.
Probably.
It's also National Wedding Ring Day and Take a Cruise Day. So, take a cruise out
Nice.
there. Yeah, if you can.
Carrot cake really a little too early for Valentine's Day. I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to remind you, hey, we're Carrot Cake. We still exist. It's February 3rd. It's almost Valentine's Day. You might want to eat a carrot cake this year, but it's too early. Everybody's gonna forget.
When I have weddings,
It's way
sometimes
before. Yeah.
sometimes the cake will be carrot cake, and the bride and groom always make an announcement after they cut it and eat it. They always go, "It's carrot cake. It's carrot cake."
So they don't get made fun of mercilessly.
I don't know. I think they're just really, really proud that they went a little edgy and got carrot cake for their wedding cake.
Not everybody loves carrot cake though.
Right.
That's why they put a little icing carrot on the top of carrot cake. It's a warning.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's an only fair warning.
Yeah.
Some people get a bite of carrot
It's
cake
true.
and freak out.
I love carrot cake personally.
It can be good.
It's okay. Yeah, it's not. It depends. It's
Icing
okay.
is
I
what
like,
makes it.
Yeah, I agree.
I like it too. Cream cheese icing.
Yeah.
If you're over 62, if you're retired, carrot cake's great.
See,
All right.
yeah, some people can't be caught dead with the carrot cake.
No.
that's
They're like allergic to it. Okay. On this day in history, that's holidays. In 1913, I went out of order. On this day in 1870, the 15th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States was ratified, guaranteeing the right to vote regardless of race and intending to ensure, with the 14th Amendment, the civil rights of former slaves. In 1967, Purple
it
Haze
just got extended to gays in the workplace last year.
Yeah, a lot of that didn't really happen until I guess the Voting Rights Act in the 60s, but yeah. And then 1967, Purple Haze was recorded. 1959, Billie Holiday on this day died in a plane crash. That's why it's also the day the music died day as well today.
What?
And
Billie Holiday? Buddy Holly?
Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, I
Billie-
read that wrong.
What?
I don't know why I was saying Billie Holiday.
It's okay. Who else
Buddy
died?
Holly. Buddy
Other people
Holly.
died in that crash, Wes.
Okay, was Billie Holiday there?
No, the Big Bopper, man.
Okay, Buddy Holly. I'm sorry.
It's the
It
day
would've
the
been-
music died.
it
So
would've been-
February 3rd.
It would have
is
been a
big day.
sweet coincidence if Billie Holiday died in that. That would have been luck.
And in 1913, the 16th Amendment to the Constitution, granting Congress the authority to levy income taxes.
That was bullshit.
ratified.
They should have stopped at 15.
Mhm.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. New party. The take it back to 15 party.
Yeah. By the way, everyone.
Wait a
Delete
minute,
everything after the 15.
Well, isn't the prohibition after that? Will the
yeah,
really?
but everything was legal still at the 15.
Right.
be-
Yeah.
So they took it away at like 17 and
They took it
brought it
away
back at like
after
20
the
or something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was way after the 15.
Okay.
Will,
As-
I don't know my amendments that well, but I imagine you just said something very racist, sexist, xenophobic. I don't know.
Certainly, I took away women's rights.
15, but
stop it.
You just said some fucked up shit.
Stop
I know
at
that.
2. I got my 2, and that's all I need.
Women's rights to vote. Hold on. Let's see what we would lose.
17 is women's rights.
I'm gonna look it up. You guys keep going. Amendment list.
Okay. By the way, everyone giving credit to Iowa for ratifying the 15th Amendment, but to me, it just sounds like those racists were the last to, hold out. Just saying. That's what it seems like in my mind. But I love you, Iowa. Love Casey's breakfast pizza. Yeah. If you want to impress Iowa, hey, Casey's breakfast pizza, go Casey's. Honorable mentions. Of course, we will be talking about the new Washington football team with PFT later. Here's a little preview of the uniforms that they're going to be donning.
Commander.
The Commanders is a terrible name.
Uniforms, they did do well. The uniforms are pretty spiffy.
Name sucks. Also, a couple of awful school shootings happened this week. One in Minnesota, which left one student dead, another injured. Those suspects are in custody, and another at Bridgewater College in Virginia, where a law enforcement officer and a campus safety officer were shot and killed on Tuesday. Officer John Painter and safety officer J.J. Jefferson died, and that piece of shit is also in custody. So,
did you also see the HBCU bomb threats?
Mm-mm.
They had to shut down every HBCU school because there were multiple bomb threats on the second day of American History Month. Real cool.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty.
So there's school shootings, there's bomb threats to all black colleges. Very well done there, America.
It's like, I'm watching you. I know you guys have been around for 200 years, but I got my eye on you, HBCUs.
Yeah.
Don't get any big ideas.
People are just on the razor's edge right now.
They sure are.
Let the air out of the tire globally, pretty much.
Yeah, we need a holiday where no one has to work and
what they could do.
Everyone screamed like Scream Day, where you just scream at the air.
They could just announce you know what, you could go back to living a normal life now, and then maybe that would solve a lot of these problems. Who knows?
Yeah,
could help.
One more honorable mention before we get to the top trends. Groundhog Day was, of course, yesterday.
Yes.
And yesterday. And Punxsutawney Phil, he did see his shadow. So there will be 6 more weeks of winter. And I've got the absolutely pathetic video from Punxsutawney. And I'm not sure I want to go anymore. So
they probably even told him what to say. They're like, you can't fuck this up. Every groundhog is picking winter.
Do they get him out of his cage? I'm excited to see the video.
Here
they have to grab him out of his fucking cage.
Here it is. Here it is.
Give me the chin, Phil.
Knock on the door.
Come on out, Phil.
I love the knock.
Yeah.
They grab him.
There he is. They got him in his arms.
They boo him?
Yeah, some people are booing him.
Your record sucks.
Fuck you, Phil.
He's complimenting his looks.
We got a prediction.
What?
Are you ready?
He didn't do anything.
Punxsutawney Phil, the seer of seers, the prognosticator of all prognosticators, was gently lifted from his burrow at 7:25 a.m., held high to see. His faithful followers had returned with glee. With my shadow I have cast, then a long, lustrous 6 more weeks of winter.
These guys are that dumb. These guys are that bad at predicting the weather. It's these old men.
6 more weeks. 6 more weeks.
No.
6 more weeks.
No.
Those old guys.
Alberta, the
Groundhog
in
Club.
Alberta that predict the weather are just that much smarter than the guys in Philly or in PA who have Punxsutawney Phil. Because
it was like a
the
Lions
Alberta guys
club.
are 86%. These guys are 39.
They had signs ready to go.
Yes.
They had signs ready to go that were pro or I assume anti-winter. But we love old man winter.
You flip the sign.
Right.
Yes.
That blows the lid off the whole thing. These guys are just morons.
What are they? Yeah, because
how are they number one?
I thought what happened is if he didn't come out, he saw his shadow. If he came out, then he didn't see his shadow. And like if he comes out of his home, I thought that meant that we're good. And if he doesn't come out of his home, then he saw his shadow.
No, if he comes out, he sees a shadow, he runs back into hibernate for the 6 more.
So, but they don't do that anymore. They just pull him out and decide for him.
I cut the thing a little bit because it was long, but what they do is they have 2 scrolls. They put him on top of the stump. They talk to him. They compliment him. If you heard,
Point
he's
to
like,
scroll.
so handsome. Yeah. And then he picks the scroll. It's like it's like the goldfish thing they do on PMT. He goes to the scroll. Yeah.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, exactly. So
6
more weeks winner. All right, let's move on to the top trends. Number 2, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has announced its class of 2022 nominations, and headlining the class and this is from Rolling Stone magazine, are Eminem, Dolly Parton, Lionel Richie, Duran Duran, Beck, Pat Benatar, Carly Simon, A Tribe Called Quest, Kate Bush, whoever that is, Devo, Judas Priest, Eurythmics, Fela Kuti, MC5, New York Dolls, Rage Against the Machine, and Dionne Warwick.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's some strong ones in there. So the top 5 or the top vote getters will be announced in May and inducted in the fall. To be eligible for this year's ballot, each nominee's first single or album had to have been released in 1996 or earlier. So 7 of the nominees, including Beck, Eminem, Duran Duran, Dolly Parton, Lionel Richie, Carly Simon, and Tribe Called Quest, are on the ballot for the first time. And this is the 6th nomination for MC5, the 4th nomination for Rage, which is just a travesty in my opinion. They should have gone number
first
1.
ballot.
Loose definition of rock and roll, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's a great point, right?
Tribe Called Quest.
I consider a Tribe Called Quest and Eminem. Let's call those guys rock and roll for sure. But Dolly Parton is not a rock and roll artist.
Dionne Warwick?
What?
Dionne Warwick's not a rock and roll artist.
Yeah.
What?
Lionel Richie
Dolly
ain't
Parton?
a rock and roll artist.
You ever heard
Lionel
Jolene?
Richie's R&B.
Jolene does
It's
rock
a great
hard.
song. It's a country
It
western
rocks.
song.
This is a how is Rage not in?
See, I guess it's.
I don't
yeah.
understand why these people are eligible for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, are they going to get in? Like, how many people get in?
I don't know how many people get in. Maybe Pat can tell us, but not everyone's going to get in, obviously.
Is it like the Baseball Hall of Fame? Because do you see what happened with them?
This is like the
5,
amendments. They
but
should
I
have
don't
left a few of these out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would take away women's rights to vote. That's all I've come across that's bad so far.
And we're taking
Everything
away
else-
Dionne Warwick and Dolly Parton. So we're really
No,
bashing
we're not.
women.
No, Dolly
Okay, we're
Parton
not. Okay,
and
we're
those
not.
magnificent tits of hers better get
She gets
their own wall.
She can
as
go
far
into
as I'm
the
concerned.
Country
I
Music
agree
Hall of
with you.
Fame, which is a bigger Hall of Fame.
Jeez Louise.
She needs her own wall.
Get her in.
9 to 5. I Will Always Love You. Steel Magnolias.
Yeah.
My personal favorite, her natural 40 double Ds.
Yeah.
Look at these beauties.
Island in the Sun.
If
Is a
she
rock and roll song.
does get her own wall, it's going to have to be load bearing. You know what I mean?
She rocks
Yeah.
my world, but I just
Mhm.
don't. Is she a rock and roll artist? This is where I'm confused. And really, I think that, like, besides the woman, maybe you keep 19 alone, but you go back before the taxes for sure.
I mean, the women should have been able to vote before 15 anyways, to be honest. So that's
there
mistake
hasn't been
anyways.
much great since 15 besides 19.
I mean, look, you're talking about presidential term limits, 20
Not much. There's not much. Look, we could redo those. We could redo
Poll
all
taxes.
these things. There's prohibition. There's taxes. There's senators being able to serve forever, as well as other congressmen.
Well, you're right about 2 of them. Like there's
No, I mean,
prohibition,
there's
and then the repeal of prohibition was so bad.
This
they
is
just repealed it.
trash. It's all
Yeah.
trash after the 15th. Besides 19, telling you, there's some merit to this.
Did you guys see the Baseball Hall of Fame? What they did this year? They
Mhm.
only inducted David Ortiz, Big Papi, which is fine. He's a designated hitter, but that's fine. And then they shut out permanently because this is their
Bonds,
last year of
right, yeah.
eligibility. Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens are never going to get in the Baseball Hall of Fame
And Pete
because
Rose's
they're
never going to get
such
in either.
pieces of shit.
Yeah, but baseball is such they're also
The voters
such
are such pieces of
curmudgeons.
shit. I know.
Like baseball is like such it's a pure sport. Is it? People are fucking still taking steroids, guaranteed.
I
just-
know.
Like
Put Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens in.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Let's get back to Dolly Parton's tits real quick. I looked. I wanted to see if she had any offspring out there that might have inherited her her assets. And unfortunately, Dolly never had kids of her own, which is probably best of the world because no telling what kind of tit crazed psycho.
Try to live under that tit shadow.
Yeah, come from sucking on those things. Developmental years.
Yeah.
Kind of complex.
Cuss the kids.
Yeah. All right, it's breast. We move on. Sorry, it's bust. It's bust. We move on. Fuck. Best. We move on. To our number one topic, or
the cream of the crop.
Okay. Cream of the crop. Big NFL news as Brian Flores, the now ex-coach of the Miami Dolphins. I got a picture of him somewhere.
Not the one that looks like Mike Tomlin, right?
No.
I hope not. We were talking about that before the show.
There he is, I think.
It is him with the beard. People have been confusing him for Tomlin with the beard.
Yeah. So he
horrible doing that. But
he was fired. Fired from the Dolphins, even though he had back-to-back winning seasons.
The beard,
He had back-to-back winning seasons. They went 5-11 3 years, 5-11 3 years ago, then 10-6, then 9-8. Fired. So the lawsuit that he filed, he's suing the NFL for basically discrimination and on just being pieces of shit. Basically, he filed it in the Southern District of New York. Alleges that the NFL and its teams have violated Section 1981 of the Civil Rights Act of 1866. Now, this section establishes that certain rights are to be guaranteed to all citizens of the United States, and these rights are to be protected against impairment by non-government and state discrimination. It guarantees the following rights: to make and enforce contracts, to sue, be parties, give evidence, and to the full and equal benefit of all laws and proceedings for the security of persons and property as enjoyed by white citizens, and shall be subject to like punishment, pains, penalties, taxes, licenses, and extractions of every kind, and to no other. That's what is saying has been violated by these teams.
So the NFL must have fucked up here. Yeah,
they fucked up. So from the Sporting News .com article that I'm just going to read from. Thank you, Zach Al-Khatib, for writing an article for guys like me who don't know a lot about football, for explaining the situation, which I'm going to pretty much read word for word now. The suit Flores, the suit Flores. In the suit, he claims that the NFL and its teams act like a, quote, plantation in which 32 teams, none of whose owners are black, profit from the labor of a league that is 70% black. Flores' complaint also claims that the league refuses to adequately address racism, particularly when it comes to the hiring and retention of black head coaches, coordinators, and general managers. Now, the big things that he's alleging, alleges that the Dolphins owner, Stephen Ross, here he is with a old Donnie T, that Steven asked him to, quote, tank the Dolphins during the 2019 season to improve the team's draft position and secure basically Joe Burrow is who they wanted. And he,
well, I mean, I can see why you'd want him.
Yeah. Pretty good pick.
At the time, though, didn't they already have Tua at the time?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, the number one.
When was that the same draft?
No, I think Tua was the year before.
1 year before, yeah.
Yeah.
So ultimately, they didn't get the number one choice because, Flores said, no, I'm not going to do that. So Flores alleged
that owner's a jackass because Flores is a good coach. Tua is a good quarterback. Joe Burrow is an insanely good quarterback. Yeah. But to stick your nose up at Flores and Tua when you have them already in the building, I mean, that guy's an asshole.
Yeah. So Flores claims that he offered him $100,000 per every loss that year, and also asked him to do some illegal stuff regarding recruiting Tom Brady. Allegedly, there were some meetings on some yachts that Flores, refused. He refused doing all this stuff. Then, quote, when the Dolphins started winning games, due in no small part to Mr. Flores' coaching, this is from the lawsuit, Mr. Flores was told by the team's general manager, Chris Greer, that Steve Ross was mad that Flores' success in winning games that year was compromising the team's draft position. So after that, he said that, he was looked at unfavorably by Ross. He was treated differently, basically. And it was, difficult to work with. So he was treated with disdain. So that's one of the first allegations. Then he claimed that the Broncos, then general manager John Elway and president John Ellis, showed up an hour late to a 2019 interview for the head coaching job, completely disheveled. And it was obvious that they were drinking. This is what he says, heavily the night before. And it was clear from the substance of that interview that they were only doing it because of the Rooney Rule, which is basically like an affirmative action rule that the NFL has.
You have to interview at least one
Yeah, you don't have to hire, but it's an interview quota. So you have to hire, minority.
You have to interview
candidates.
at least one minority. You have to interview at least one minority candidate before you hire.
Yeah, and we don't have to hire him, but he says, and of course the Broncos released a statement in contrast to that, saying, quote, "Our interview with Mr. Flores regarding our head coaching position began promptly at the scheduled start time of 7:30 a.m. It doesn't say whether they look like
whenever we woke up. Yeah. Promptly of whenever we dragged our asses out of the bed. Yeah.
We dragged ourselves in there right at 7:30.
We really put an effort to get in there hungover, okay?
Yeah. They also say that there's pages of detailed notes and analysis of the evaluation from the interview, so that they actually did give Flores a chance, and they gave him a proper interview is what they're saying, and it was a thorough. Now
that was in Denver.
Now another thing that happened was the Giants interview, which is where all these big Bill Belichick texts come from. And he's pointing to these texts, which I'm going to show you right now, that basically prove that he had no shot of getting the job when he went in for the interview, because Belichick sent him a text thinking that he was Brian Dable, however the fuck you say that.
Brian Dable. He really thought that for sure too, right?
Yeah.
So Bill said he really messed up on that one, huh? He said he really thought it was the wrong Brian. Bill said that.
Might have been fucking with the Giants, huh?
Yeah.
Think about the people Bill Belichick hates after Wes reads this.
Yeah. So here's the text from Bill Belichick. Anyone want to read Flores's part here?
Is he the blue or the black?
He's the blue. I'll be Bill. Sounds like you landed. Sounds like you've landed. Congrats.
Go ahead, Will.
Did you hear something? Did you hear something I didn't hear?
Giants? ? Exclamation mark.
I interview on Thursday. I think I have a shot at it.
Got it. I hear from Buffalo and New York Giants that you are their guy. Hope it works out if you want it to.
That's definitely what I want! Exclamation point. I hope you're right, Coach. Thank you, Coach. Are you talking to Brian Flores or Brian Dable? Just making sure.
Sorry. I fucked this up. I double checked and I misread the text. I think they are naming Dable. I'm sorry about that. Bill Belichick.
Devastating.
Thanks, Bill.
That's fucking devastating, man.
And this was before.
Yes, this was 3 days before the interview.
But Dable had interviewed.
Yeah, with the Giants.
They named him.
Yeah. And they were just doing a sham interview with Flores to meet the Rooney Rule,
right?
But they'd already got their guy. And in fact, it was so known that they got their guy that Bill Belichick's sources told him. Bill Belichick knew it, and lo and behold, it was true. They
accidentally texted that to the other coach.
Yep.
The
Dolphins. So he screwed over the Dolphins and the Giants. Yeah.
And who else? Another person he hates. Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell. This fucks Roger Goodell so bad. So he's fucking over all the teams he hates, plus Roger Goodell with a couple accidental texts.
Yeah, pretty smart. Pretty smart guy, that Belichick.
And
BB.
I feel like
BB.
There's a purpose for affirmative action, which is what this is, right? The Rooney Rule, right? And it's to make up for any potential prejudices in the hiring process, and also just general prejudices that Black people have faced, haven't been enslaved in this country. And it's a process, right? Eventually there will be no affirmative action. That's the goal, right? When everyone gets leveled out and we feel like there's no prejudice. But this is there is a byproduct of it, right? It's an opportunity, but there also is a byproduct of it because it's a system set up that doesn't fit perfectly, right? So that does happen where people have to go in for an interview to meet a quota.
Right.
That's the nature of the system.
Sure.
You can't.
They might have really liked
to have
Dable.
That in place than not.
The Giants obviously like Dable, but they should have. The thing is that they're Belichick knew he got him because they were flaunting the rules. I think Belichick obviously knew he's going to say to the grave this was a mistake. I think he knew for 100% on purpose who he was sending this to, because he knew the Giants were out there being idiots about how they were flaunting the rules and they got their man and all this stuff. And Belichick just fucking got him. And he gave Flores the ammunition Flores needed to win a lawsuit against all the people he hates.
Yeah, I think Bill Belichick did it on purpose too. But the NFL, to Flores's point, has 0 of 32 NFL owners, and 1 now that Flores is not a head coach. 1 out of 32 head coaches are black. In a league that you said 70%, I'm going to assume that's low. I'm going to assume there's more than 70% black athletes, and at a minimum 70%. And we have 1 out of 64 kickers, top positions.
You forget all the special teamers, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. It's okay. Fine. 70%.
Line,
but there's
teams.
I mean, there's one head coach and 0 owners. And look, there's a lot of coordinators that are black that are killing it. They're like, like Byron Leftwich, they're doing like incredible jobs at offensive and defensive coordinator. And then it comes around for head coaching. They don't get the job.
Of course, no black owners.
Yeah,
insane. That's
reprehensible. It's nuts. It's
because there's enough black people, I'm sure, who've been interested in buying a team. It's just that they probably haven't been afforded the opportunity. No black owners is insane in a league with 70%
and one head
players.
Coach.
And the coaches for sure. Which is why they have the Rooney Rule. But if Belichick knows that they're not fucking taking the Rooney Rule seriously,
right? Which he does probably. Yeah.
There he goes. He got it. I mean, I think that Bill probably saw how Tom wrote out and was like, I need to fucking get one up because Tom got me this year. And I think Bill then just hatched a master plan, and we all just watched. He
focused his energy from getting Tom Brady back to ignoring that and focusing on slamming the NFL. Yeah.
I'll tell you what you want to do here is you want to take Ted Cruz's logic that we heard yesterday about the Supreme Court judges, and you want to apply that to the NFL, right? Because what Cruz was saying is, well, what are there, 6% black people in America anyway? Yeah, but sorry, bro, the NFL, the microcosm, you're right, Mark. It's insane with the amount of black people that make that league, right? You just got to have some representation, but there's not. It's pretty glaring.
Right. I think black people overall are like 13% of the U.S. population, but 70% of the player population in the NFL. So obviously much more represented.
What's 1 out of 64? 1.4% of important jobs. I don't know how many black general managers there are, but I'm going to assume
Ozzie Newsome of the Ravens is the only one I'm really off the top of my head.
Like 2 or 3 out of 96 top positions: GM, owner, head coach.
I think there's some more black GMs, but yes, you're right. I mean,
not many. Less than 5% probably.
It's not well represented in the management ranks.
It's wild.
In the ownership, that's the most atrocious to me is 0 black owners, because that means that the NFL has just never given a black person with the means to own a team the opportunity to do it. Probably.
You're saying like it's a tight club that they
of course, Pat. The ownership, how it works is they all vote on it. So
that was me being facetious.
Oh yeah.
Three black GMs. That's 4 total of the top 96 positions. I'll do a quick calculation. 4 divided by 96 equals 4% representation for the top jobs in the NFL.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So we'll see. He did an interview. I'll skip the clip, but basically, he's doing this to rectify the situation. If he feels like
good for him,
he's the guy. It's time is now. Let's fucking handle it. Let's push it forward. He doesn't know if he'll ever coach again. He hopes he does because he
shouldn't have been fired by the Dolphins. He's definitely going to get.
He won his last 7 games in a row.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get another coaching job out of this. I think because I think that he's going to be on the. I don't think the NFL and the Giants are going to, if what Belichick said was true in the texts, he just blew up their spot. I mean, they're fucked. Yeah. They look like assholes.
Do you think there's a possibility of a lockout or something with players that standing behind Flores in this matter?
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
we'll see where it goes.
A strike,
we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
I don't know about this particular time, but
yeah.
It's going to come to a head if things don't change. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll keep you posted on that and see what happens with all these, with the lawsuit. And I got one more thing I want to share with you guys. We had a submission by a fan, Brian Wendell. He sent this DM. He said, "Hey fellas, first love the show. It's my everyday listen, go to work. At the end of every show, we get to the wheel of who does what for the next episode. I see anxiety on everyone's faces on who gets the coffee. Would it be possible to make whoever gets the coffee gets to start a segment that best fits their personality?" And he had some suggestions. You guys can take them or leave them, but I liked my suggestion. He suggested that I do what grinds my gears. Pat was man, fuck this guy. Mike, Mark, I informed you thusly, and Will, I want to drink a beer with this person. So I liked the suggestion. So I created a segment on what grinds my gears, and here's the first edition of it. I hope you enjoy. Might be the last.
Welcome to another edition of What Grinds Wes's Gears. Now here's your host, Hard Factor Wes.
All right, welcome to the show. You know what really grinds my gears? I'll tell you. sometimes when I sit down to, use the restroom, have a bowel movement, I also have to urinate. And many times I forget to push my penis down a little bit. And as I'm urinating, some of the urine travels up the lip, up and over the lip of the toilet in between the seat and the bowl there, and it dribbles down the front of the toilet, and it gets all over the back of my boxes. Now, if I'm lucky, I notice. If I'm unlucky that day, I don't notice, and I pull my boxes up, and then I notice that my ass is wet. And then I got to change my boxes. Boy, that really grinds my gears.
This has been another edition of What Grinds Wes's Gears.
Well, it's when you don't notice. That's when it grinds your gears.
Nah, it's good. That's a good one, Wes. You just have to beat it out of yourself. I think if somebody yells at you enough for staining the toilet bowl, then that's how it happened to me. I would sometimes create stains, and I was just repetitively drilled to not do it.
Yeah,
and then that eventually got rid of that. Yeah, got rid of that right away.
Rub your nose in it.
Yep.
There you go.
I've stained some pee in my day.
So if you just like, all guys have. If it's a guy's only toilet, it's disgusting. But so every day, you just
looks
like a little gander at that toilet.
Took to the porcelain, and the porcelain bleeds yellow. You know what I mean? Like,
just shake,
like it bit the neck of the porcelain toilet, and then it has yellow stains coming down.
Then look at yourself in the mirror, and then look at your toilet, and then look at yourself in the mirror, and then ask yourself, "Do I want to be the? Does this toilet represent me?" And
maybe
then,
right around the edge of the porcelain.
No, and you'll clean it
on the bottom, right around the edge of it.
I actually owned the domain name stainedporcelain.com in college.
Oh God,
nice.
Yeah, never got around to finishing that site though.
Do you still own it?
Relatable.
I keep most of my domains. So
after that segment, you might get like a $15 to $20 offer.
Stained porcelain, baby. All right, let's move through this update about the impending war real quick. You guys know, like during the fourth quarter of a close football game, and the coach of whomever's on defense will call a timeout.
A white coach, white coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, position coaches, Mark, and there's. I mean, come on, let's not jump to conclusions. It's just the good jobs.
But anyway, the white
coach,
the probable white coach will call a timeout just so that the players on defense can get a quick breather before the action starts again. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Well, that usually lasts 30 seconds. That's the NFL standard. In Joe Biden's case, that lasted 5 months and 3 days. But I don't know if you can really even call it a timeout because some of the players didn't get the memo and were left on the field after the last one. Long story short, guys, I'm talking about Afghanistan. President Joe Biden has approved the deployment of 2,000 U.S. troops to Poland and Germany, and they'll be joining 1,000 troops on the Eastern Front who are already stationed in Europe, in Germany. They'll be moving
3x the numbers of the locals.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay, that's sending a strong message after the Ukrainian president asked us to chill the fuck out last week. Okay,
right, he did do
that. Cool. Thanks. Nice. Okay, sweet, Joe.
Yeah. So the troops that were in Germany, right? They're being quote repositioned to Romania, which is about as fun as your partner moving down an inch instead of up an inch during a 69 like you requested.
Yeah, that made it worse.
Yeah,
black it out here. You tapping her.
You passed out.
Biting her.
Yeah. Guys, John Kirby, the retired Rear Admiral and the press secretary for the Department of Defense, he took the podium yesterday, clear a couple things up, saying, quote, "I want to be very clear about something. These are not permanent moves. These are moves designed to respond to the current security environment." And he added, "We're thinking about 10 to 20 years over their tops, okay? Not
We're
permanent."
Just really hoping that they attack us first so we don't look like the bad guys. Just really hoping for it. Really hoping.
Did he really say 10 to 20?
No, I added that. But he said they're not permanent. I'm just reading between the lines.
That's a big deal.
He also said, guys, that the forces are not going to fight in Ukraine. He made that very clear. Also important to note that these 2,000 troops, the ones that are coming from the States over to Europe, are not, I repeat, are not part of the 8,500 that were put on heightened alert last month. They can still use those.
Well, that's extra. Yeah. No,
you got to read the terms of your contract. That they can still use those. These don't count against those. So
they're flexing with up to 12K troops that they want to just roll to Vlad's doorstep and fight with. They are war hawking. The Biden administration is war hawking. Okay. They are trying to get engaged in a conflict.
Yes and no. There's two sides to that.
I think they are. Personally, the Ukrainian president asked you to chill the fuck out and stop escalating things, and your response to that is, I'm sending 3,000 troops and holding 9 on reserve.
Right.
I mean, you are escalating when being accused of escalating by everybody and just pretending that you're not. It's crazy.
Right. Well, so, I mean, look, it's not just us, though, Will. The French are going too. So,
what are they sending? 250 guys? Some baguettes?
At least the food's going to be good, right? For our boys and girls over there.
Yeah. One chef.
Okay, so the number of Russians that have amassed on the Ukrainian border now, 100,000, which is fucking insane. And look, I'm going hard on Biden here, as is Will. But to be fair to Biden, the other side of this is these troops are there to support NATO and our obligations to them, right? And look, the politicians are having it out. In response to a letter, Republican Senator from Missouri, Josh Hawley, sent to Abe Lincoln, urging the Biden administration to stand down. U.S. House Representative Republican Adam Kinzinger, he tweeted this.
Who's a Democrat and retiring?
Well, technically, said, I hate to be so personal, but Hawley is one of the worst human beings and self-aggrandizing con artist. When Trump goes down, I certainly hope the evil will be laid in the open for all to see.
Talk about pot kettle black. My God.
So what did Hawley say? Here's a quick excerpt from it. And it kind of echoes, like, honestly, I think how a lot of people feel, which is, why don't we sit this one out?
Don't agree with Hawley often, but why don't we sit this one out?
No, I know. I agree. I was very surprised.
Yeah.
He was essentially saying that an increasingly powerful China in the Indo-Pacific is potentially more threatening than anything, right, that we could face in terms of supporting NATO and the Ukraine. He says this means the United States can no longer carry the heavy burden it once did in other regions of the world, including Europe. To the contrary, we must do less in those secondary theaters in order to prioritize denying China's hegemonic ambitions.
Right.
So
power.
Look, they're getting after it. Is he war hawking? I don't know. I wouldn't do it, but it is a NATO response. As I said, at the top 10 to 20 years.
Which is just the U.S. To be clear, it's pretty much just us. So, like, yes, we are supporting our obligations to NATO, but not all NATO members are feeling the same way. And so the thing about it is we're being the most aggressive of anybody because old Joe wants to be aggressive. This is his tack, man. This is Joe Biden sucked at foreign affairs, foreign policy for his whole career. I think he's going to keep sucking at it. And this is his decision. And he's probably walking down the wrong path like he always is.
Well, these moves, he said, are to de-escalate. I want to make that clear. So,
right. He's sending 3,000 troops to de-escalate.
Well, that's a lot of mouths that can relay the message on the ground. Well,
yeah. Good.
In this day and age,
we're here for peace.
Yeah,
with their guns.
What are you doing?
Right.
Standing in their face.
This is going to be like another in the Korean the 38th parallel. Like they're just going to stay there from now on. Is that what's going to happen?
No, dude. Fucking look. Putin's going to invade. He already did it with Crimea, right?
He says he's not.
It's so a hand-forcing situation. I don't know.
He says he's not. So either he needs to soon. And Biden's imminent invasion shit that he keeps saying will be proven right, or he won't, which he won't because he wants to prove Biden wrong, and he'll look wrong.
Putin might be Bill Belichicking Biden.
He's Bill Belichicking him
with
for
the text
sure.
with the text messages about invading, and then he's making all the troops go over there, and then he's not going to invade. Yeah.
Old balls Biden getting duped again, international stage. It's happened before. It's not the last. It's not the first. It's going to be keeping going.
Hey, let's continue on the international stage, shall we?
It's time for the TikTok International Moment.
New shitty job alert. Woo! This is a job that would make Mike Rowe blush. In Sweden, they have trained crows to pick up cigarette butts with their mouths, with their beaks.
Yes.
This is awesome.
And their
Where do I
Is
donate?
that a grackle or
how do I support it?
It's supposed to be a crow. I think that
You're
anything
right.
that looks
Tail.
like a crow,
Short
they're
tail,
training.
Okay.
How do you sign up? Well, they're trained, by the way, to pick up cigarette butts and other litter, and then they fly them or walk them to a dispensary bin, like a trash bin, and drop them in. And if they successfully do that, the bin shoots out like a few pieces of bird food for them as a reward. In related news, 5 years from now, there will be a cancer epidemic amongst crows in Sweden. Christian Gunther Hansen, the founder of startup Corvid Cleaning, which is very close to COVID. They just added a R. Bad name.
Corvid, that's the genus, right, of crow.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay,
I think so.
That makes a lot more sense because
Blue Jays also.
I was very confused why he would pick such a shitty name for a company during the COVID era.
Yes,
Corvid Cleaning is behind. That makes sense. This bird torture, I would say. When asked how he came up with the idea, Hansen said, "I thought, what is the stupidest form of life? The easiest to trick, and then I thought." Bird brain. That's it. The bird is so dumb, it will pick up 100 cigarette butts a day for the smallest amount of food that it really could have found anywhere. It's not even high quality food that we're rewarding them with. Mm-hmm. So the guy has an issue with birds, clearly, specifically crows. The goal of the project, besides Hansen getting lifelong revenge on crows, is to lower the cost of street cleaners. So he's taking jobs away from humans and proving that birds can do these poor bastards' jobs themselves.
Let me tell you something. If I'm near a crow, if I'm in Sweden, I'm now purposely throwing my cigarette butts on the ground just to see if these crows are going to do it.
Flicking them at them. Well,
see how big of a thing they could get. What if you could do like a whole sandwich wrapper? Mm-hmm. What can a crow grab? A cup?
Testing them. Yeah.
Bring them over?
In principle, it's good, Will, but this is not the first time some moron has tried to train crows to pick up street litter. In 2018 in France, they tried to train 8 crows to pick up street trash, and that project didn't last long. This picture that I showed you was a 1-minute video of the France thing, and like each crow got about like 1 cigarette butt every 5 to 10 minutes and kind of went to the box.
That's why you got to do it on massive scale, like they're doing at the new one.
It didn't last long. And then in
a whole murder of crows to really
a whole murder. Yeah. And then in 2017, Crowded Cities, a Dutch company, trained crows to pick up cigarettes butts from their street. And that project also was shut down less than a full year later due to, quote, too few resources to continue the project, as in the crows stopped doing it pretty fucking quickly and were super unreliable. Could you imagine being a manager relying on a team of crows to show up for work and get the job done?
This is more of like a passive. This is like when you say you're unlocking a new ability in an RPG, right? Mm-hmm. For your city to have the crows that know to pick up some of the butts. You don't expect the crows to get 100.
Don't you still need the street sweepers then? So what's the point?
Yeah, you still do, but you get the crows are helping them out, and it's like a fun scene.
Here's an idea. Let's get homeless people to do this. Not to compare homeless people to crows, but you give them
more reliable.
You give them probably cheaper, more reliable. You give them $1 for every 100 cigarettes.
Better.
Boom.
You think cigarettes or booze out of
cigarette butts? No, you give them you give them like for every 100 butts they turn into you give them $5, way cheaper.
Or $5 or
a full
cigarette.
Yeah, exactly.
Or cigarettes.
Every 10 butts is 1 cig.
Yeah. It's problem solved.
Yeah, so I don't know. We've all worked with some bad employees, but crows, they're not gonna get the job done. And they don't, and that company is going to fail. All right, and our last stop, because we got PFT coming up, is our resident Brexit expert Wes might be in trouble with one group of UKers if he makes his long overdue grand entrance there. Have you ever been to England, Wes?
I have not.
Okay, well, if you go, you might not want to go on a rural tour of the pig farms. That's because pig farmers in the UK are big mad. They are specifically upset at 2 things: Brexit and the rise of veganism. So,
oh wow.
Well, don't blame them on the second. Why are they mad about the first one though? Because I thought the country agreed 5 times to do it.
Not the pig farmers, Will, because all of the butchers are Eastern European and got deported. So now no one can butcher the pigs.
No one can you can't.
All of the butchers in England got deported. So now they have 170,000 pig backlog of pigs that were supposed to be butchered and sold. And who are they going to sell them to? Because now everyone in the UK is wearing skinny jeans and turning vegan like Wes and all of East Austin. So they've got a real issue there, the pig farmers. Apparently they're having to cull about 50% of their pigs across the board in the country for no profit because they need to create space and grazing areas for the new pigs that are being bred, and the older pigs they're just killing and not selling because they don't have room for them. So
you got to ship them to China. China's the only place that's always needs more pork. Right. There's no other spot on the planet Earth, especially as people get more I guess woke or modern. I don't know what it is that's making them eat
healthy. Yeah.
I don't know about that, but you know what? As they eat less tasty stuff, the only people who want pork is China.
Yeah, so. And all the good butchers are deported. It's tough.
Yeah, maybe they should learn how to butcher.
They should learn how to butcher, and
they're going to cull them. What's the difference?
That means killing all of them.
I know, I get it, but it's half the gig, right?
It's one slit versus
you got
50 chops.
It's
a skill.
It's an art, yeah.
It's an entire job versus just
a crow. A crow couldn't do it. You couldn't train crows to butcher.
Anybody could go kill a pig.
Right.
Look, guys,
but they're not going to cut it up and be able to package it and put it into the grocery store.
Yeah. I get it. Okay, but it's not surgery. Okay, and you're going to lose them.
It is.
So get some inmates out there. And just throw them at the pigs and see who's good at it.
They're not going to be able to scale something. The reason they know they're going to lose all this is because they have to call for
it's
the
not
space.
A quick solution. To train all these butchers to get good butchers and to put advertising into stop being a pussy, you vegan cowards. It takes some time.
No lines over there. You don't need. You ever seen time? You just roast them whole.
Vegetarian, whatever.
So they would have to do like a pig roast for every English person.
Right. So here's the problem. They're short term, they're fucked and they know it. So now they're asking the government for help, and they're real mad. They are real bad over there.
Yeah, that's an unforeseen.
They don't know what to do.
That is.
They can't figure it out for themselves, can they?
International. It sounds like it's going to be soy and insect burgers only in their near future.
Britain, and that's a bad. Because if it's happening in Britain, they're going to bring that pansy bullshit over here to America real quick after that, and then.
You better start eating more pork.
Nope. I will.
Yeah.
Yes, I will. I'm gonna stop eating vegetables altogether, I think.
There you go. Let's show them. That'll do. And that does it for the TikTok International Moment. Hey, we have a special guest joining.
PFT, thank you for joining the podcast. Are you in the truck right now? I was trying to follow your social media.
We're in the Chevy Silverado.
Okay.
Yeah, we're somewhere right outside of Scranton, PA. We got a long night ahead of us driving. We're going to try to make it to Cincinnati tonight, try to get there before the storm hits. Turns out we're driving into like the biggest ice storm in the last probably 12 months in the United States. So that's going to be a fun little addition to the trip.
Very poor timing. Extremely poor.
Are you in the EV?
But that Silverado's going to chew through that, right?
Well, yeah.
We were looking to see if there's an ice setting on this. Still undetermined.
Are you in the electric version or like a fully loaded, like midnight or black or whatever it is?
No, this is fully loaded. We got it's pure gasoline. We're running gasoline and Billy's supplements right now.
Beautiful.
That's what I'm talking about.
We got a long night ahead of us driving, but we're feeling good.
I saw today that you were trying to do 4 10-hour trips. It looks like Billy won. You're going to do a long first day of 16 hours. Is that correct?
Yeah, some things got switched up because we've got a stop that we have to make in Memphis at about 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So we cannot, unfortunately, stop in Pittsburgh for the first night. We're just going to try to power through all the way to Cincinnati tonight. And see if we can't do that.
This Memphis stop actually puts you further into the bad weather, doesn't it?
Well, there's no way to get around this ice storm. It's going all the way from Texas all the way up to Chicago. So
you can't outrun it?
No, because it's going east. We're going west. We're meeting halfway, like the old Monday Night Football helmet collisions.
Damn.
That's what this truck is going to do. But we're confident in our driving ability and in the automobile that we're in. So we're going to be okay.
I think that's a good call. You'll be fine.
It's good. I saw Liam also got added to the truck. Anybody else? Is it the 3 of you in the truck?
Yeah, we got Snapchat Steve in the back. He's
nice.
He was always planned to be the guy that comes along to take care of some of our social stuff and for Snapchat. And then earlier today, we had a top secret, super secret interview that we went to. And Bubba slept through his alarm. So he missed the interview, and we determined that the best course of action, the best punishment that he should have is last minute he gets added to this trip, across the country.
Backseat.
So yeah, he's I think he accepted it, and he's making lemonade out of lemons right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a great position that he's in.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's not great to be the last guy added into a cross country road trip like that last second and be in the back seat. So it's a great punishment, I think.
Yeah, but you know what? In a luxurious automobile like the Chevy Silverado, it makes it easy.
But
like driving
it's true.
You could fit several people in there.
Yeah, anything's possible in the Silverado.
Anything is. That's a great tagline for it.
Are you making Liam do anything extra though? Like, does he have some tasks he has to accomplish for people along the way? How bad is the punishment? I just don't.
Well, he has to sit directly behind Billy, so that's a pretty bad one right there.
Billy's
but no, he's just along for the ride. He didn't have time to pack actually, so he is
interesting. I was going to ask about that. Yeah, packing. How do you pack for this trip? So to set the scene real quick for the few people that don't know, PFT, Billy Football, Barstool Sports, Liam. And Snapchat Steve are in a Chevy Silverado. They're driving from New York to LA in preparation for the Super Bowl week, like the media week, and they're going to get there on time. But how do you pack for this trip where you're going through an ice storm and then you're going to end up in LA? That seems like a lot of packing.
So that's a good question. I'm sure that I left out like 9 things that I should have packed that I ended up not bringing with me. I brought a lot of sweatpants and shorts, and that's about it.
Did you do a rugby bag, the PFT Classic?
That is my normal go-to, the rugby bag. Yeah, but no, I packed like an adult. I wanted to use a suitcase this time.
Look at that.
It turns out that the rugby bag is way better. It's more versatile. You can fit more stuff in it. I had to stuff this damn suitcase. And I'm sure I forgot so much stuff on this. Well, I'm one of the world's worst packers.
You could buy on the way on this type of trip. Right?
For sure.
Now, Eric, the Silverado, does it have a covered back? So like your suitcase isn't back there with Snapchat Steve and Liam, right? Like there's, or is it just going to be getting soaked in the back?
Right, the soaking.
It's the covered trunk, and we've got all the bags back there, and then Liam's tied down in the trunk for the first night, so he's going to have to just kind of deal with the elements.
Well,
he's like Mitt Romney's dog back there, yeah.
The good news for you is that it's absolutely gorgeous, just beautiful, sunny, not a cloud in the sky out west. So as soon as you get past the storm, it's fantastic.
We're golden, yeah. I hope that we can. I don't want to get stuck in Memphis, but if I'm going to be stuck in a place, I can't think of a more majestic environment to be stuck than inside the Bass Pro Shop Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee.
It is nice.
That's true. That's like an overnight, like when you're a kid, like in the Discovery Zone.
Yeah, though that's my personal hatchet. So if I find myself abandoned inside the Bass Pro Shop Pyramid, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to survive. In the event of apocalypse, that's the best.
That's
place
where you want
to
go.
You got the guns. You got an indoor lake that you can fish in for sustenance. Everything. Tanks.
Yeah, all those tanks of fish too. That's a good.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the king of America if
like,
it all goes to shit. It's
like that and like Casa Benitez. Those are like a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cabela's aren't bad, but I think Bass Pro Shop owns them anyway. So they really have like the whole thing. They have a.
You could jump in the fish tank like that one kid that went viral last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Eric, you've had a chance to process it. You've had a chance to chew on it, to think about it, to see the reaction online, to have some thoughts. How do you feel about the new name of the former Washington Redskins, then Washington football team?
We'll bleep the R word.
Now Washington Commanders.
So it is a pretty boring name. I think we can all agree on that. Commanders, it's like I already forgot. I've forgotten the team name like 5 times today.
I had to look it up when I was saying it right then. I had to.
Yeah, the Commanders. We're the Commanders. It really goes to show you that you can commission all the studies you want. You can hire anybody that you want in the front office to try to put in all this work behind the scenes to change the name. You can ask fans what they want, but at the end of the day, it came down to a fan vote, and there was just one fan, and it was Dan Snyder.
Right.
And he wanted the Washington Commanders. I think as long as they win, it'll be fine. There's so many weird team names out there, and I knew that it was going to get roasted no matter what it was going to be for the first 24 hours.
Yeah, but it's such shit, though. It's just shit. It's just awful.
It's boring, but you know what? People said the same thing when it was the football team for a couple of years.
It's better than the football team.
See, some people are saying, like, I missed the football team.
Do you think so?
I think it's better than the football team.
I don't know. I don't know if it's better than the football team.
I've got a couple suggestions. I'm sure Eric has thought of some creative things for the nicknames of the fans, but I think on defense, whenever you like the turnover chain, you can call it the commandeers. Like they're commandeering the football, right? So like that's good for the defense. They're taking the ball away, and then
I like that. As a matter of fact, we're trying to figure out what the mascot is going to be.
That's the thing. Is it going to be George Washington or is it going to be a red coat? Because it's got to be like a red soldier, right? So is it?
Well, I think what Mark's onto there is it could be a deer, and you could call it the commandeer.
There you go. Commandeer. I have another suggestion for the fans.
Snyder would love that idea.
You know how like the hogettes, the big guys that wore the pig noses, you could do like a row of guys dressed like Jay from Jay and Silent Bob with the beanie and the long hair, and they could be the clit commanders. They could have a row of people.
They could do that. They could do that. But guys, let's stop beating around the bush because we all know it's hail to the commies. I mean, you've seen this. There's really no other possible nickname for this team. Commanders, commies. It's just literally the shorthand of commanders.
And they're red in color,
right? And they're red and gold. Look, I'm wearing the fucking. Look at this. It matches the existing football team shirt. So
well,
I mean,
that's a good look that you have going right now. That's so I love the idea of the commies. This is 100%. I mean, like hail to the red scare.
Look,
that would be cool if everyone's got like a Russian hat. that would be intimidating if every single fan had like a commie hat.
We're the commies now. I mean, like, what else? Because I'm not gonna be like, the commanders all the time.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a mouthful.
It doesn't roll at all. Yeah.
No, we're the commies now, and I think that we should call the offensive linemen the means of production. The guys up front.
There you go.
Who's the KGB?
I think there's
because that's got to be on defense probably.
Well, you got to have a guy with the last name K, G, and B that are all skilled players or all like linebackers or something like that. Yeah,
Kerrigan would have been great on this team.
Yeah,
so you could have started that off. But,
yeah, he would have. Listen, the bottom line is if we win, people will like the name. If we lose, people will not like the name.
I got a couple of positives here. Some pros for people that are really hating it. Probably better than the Wizards rebrand. That's just number one.
Yes.
Most likely. There's now a black jersey, which is stain proof. So if you're a big stain guy, you got a black jersey now. That's a positive.
And very slimming.
Slimming and stain proof. I happen to spill on myself a lot. Also, Bowser, I saw you tweeted this. Bowser is saying maybe going back to DC now.
Yeah, so Bowser was saying, many years ago that they will not have the Redskins back in DC until they change the name. And so on the day that the name change officially occurs, she reaches out and she says, let's bring them back to the site of RFK, which is where it should be. That's where the stadium should be. They're the Washington Commanders. They're not the Maryland Commanders. They're not the Virginia Commanders. They should
there
be
for a reason. Yeah.
Yeah, they should be in DC. So if we can make that happen, that goes a long way too. That's more important, I think, than the name. And the name is just like Snyder had three things he had to accomplish with it. One, he had to make sure it wasn't trademarked. Two, he had to make sure that the name was an actual name and not just calling it the football team. And three, had to make sure it wasn't a racial slur. So that's 3 for 3 for Dan Snyder on this rebrand. Yeah, that one was really tough. I thought there was an outside chance that he would say, you know what? We're doing Redskins again.
Yeah.
We've looked into it, and that was really the name that I liked above all the others.
The Apaches.
But what about Warriors? I thought they had the trademarks and everything. I thought Washington Warriors would have been fine.
But we knew it was going to be something with the military because Snyder, he knows who buys those seats.
Warriors are completely nondescript. It could be anybody. Here's a good point, though. Here's a meme that Trevor Noah also jacked this meme later with a tweet. But they said the Washington football team really went from Redskins to people who killed them, the Commanders, which is a good point because it probably was Commanders,
a guy with a musket,
in the Union Army that cleared most of them out.
Yeah, we're going with Washington Custers on this one.
Yeah.
Hope you guys understand. It's listen, it's not a great name, but it's just generic enough to the point where it's like, who cares? If you look at any of the names in the NFL, if they were to debut their names right now, people would most likely be like, "Oh, that name sucks."
Yeah, you can't win. You're right.
If a team called themselves the Patriots right now, people would be like, "Oh, that name sucks. It's boring." Oh, you're going to call yourselves the Buffalo Bills? That's a weird thing to call you. Like, you're naming your entire organization after a guy. I mean, and they're all good names because they have history to them. Right now, there's no history.
Right.
And it's just a perfectly boring.
The Rams is just a ram.
To be fair, the Redskins, the original name of the team, was not like the best name of all time. So it's not like you're going from like the best name ever.
It's not like you're going from the bullets to the Wizards.
Right. Bullets to Wizards. Now that's a drop.
Right.
Now
that was huge.
Stone cold. You're done after that.
Yeah. You're right. What about that drunk ass Theismann spilling the beans 2 days early? They got to get a handle on that guy.
Well, the website spilled the beans like 2 months early.
Yeah, but still, you can't have Theismann popping off on podcasts. Like
there were a lot of rumors going around out there, and a lot of people being like, "Oh, it's already been leaked. It's going to be the Admirals, or it's going to be the Brigade, or it's going to be the Sentinels." And people were doing the internet sleuthery of looking up where their domain names were registered and all that stuff. So there was still a little bit up in the air. And then Theismann came out and was like, "Yeah, I heard it's going to be the Commanders."
Yeah, like 3 days early on a podcast.
you can't put a leash on Joe Theismann.
No,
Joe Theismann's going to show up. Joe Theismann, if you drop a big enough bag for Joe Theismann, he'll say whatever words you want him to say.
That's
true.
You can't ask a tiger to change his stripes.
We should get a cameo of Theismann for Hard Factor.
There's 3 things I know about Joe Theismann. 1, he broke his leg. 2, he's got the world's best prostate, based on all the ads that I've seen of him doing for like 5 different prostate health companies. And then 3, the man likes a cold drink. And so this was bound to happen at some point. But the whole like helicopter swooping in, and like the organization is going to get some shit because they let it leak. But this is an impossible thing to keep under wraps until the last minute. Because they kept it under wraps for a long time, but then at some point you have to start printing T-shirts. You have to start doing the wrapping.
And the T-shirt printer has cousins that they tell and friends.
And it so happens the way that they got caught was some asshole flew a helicopter down into the stadium 3 hours before they were going to change the name and start selling merch to the fans. And they're like, "Oh, I can't believe that the football team did this. What a dysfunctional organization."
Well, talk about dysfunctional. I heard something about a Sean Taylor jersey. Were they trying to sell Commanders like historical jerseys?
I haven't heard about that.
I
don't know.
I saw a rumor.
It's actually a Jackson Mahomes Sean Taylor collab.
So do you think that they will ever try to rebrand red, white, and blue to match all the other teams in the city are now red, white, and blue? And DC had the DC Commandos arena football team.
Whoa, look at that.
I like the idea of Commandos, like have everybody just straight up show up to games free balling. It's just understood.
Is it too late?
Is good. Yeah.
Is it too late to change to Commandos?
We can definitely. You could do
you
both.
Step into this stadium, just know all that's separating you from my ball sack is a thin layer of cotton. I think that's a nice intimidating. Yeah, that's an intimidating environment. But I like the burgundy jerseys that we put out. The white ones, they kind of do look like Cardinals knockoffs a little bit.
But it's a nice
black
uniform.
ones. I saw the black jerseys and I was like, this is a pretty cool uniform. I can see this looking good under the lights. And then I realized it's just straight up the Steelers.
Yeah.
We just stole the Steelers uniform.
Well, Iowa.
But they look good.
They look good. It's a lot of different teams have them. It's like the black Iowa State uniform. I mean, you have to wear a black helmet with it.
Our defense is going to be 10% faster in those uniforms.
For sure. They're gonna hit faster. Okay, well, if you have any more Commanders, I think we should also talk Super Bowl and what these guys have, maybe some teasers of what they have planned for Media Week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go. Yeah.
Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl, and what the hell are you guys going to do this week?
I mean, I'm rooting for my guy Joe.
There we go.
All systems Joe this week. Burrow and the Bengals. They're America's team. I don't think anybody is, outside of the city of Los Angeles itself. and maybe a little bit of Detroit. I don't think anyone else is rooting for the Rams.
But this is a Super Bowl where nobody's going to be upset about the Rams winning because like Stafford, Odell, Whitworth, those are some good stories too.
See, Stafford's very likable, but Sean McVay is not very likable. That's the problem. I like Stafford, but McVay's a douche.
McVay is. People go back and forth on him. I think they like the idea of a young genius coaching in the NFL. People are just like, I love to write stories about young guys that are really, really smart.
He just loves football, man.
Wonder kids, yeah.
The Wonder Kids, exactly. Yeah. And I agree with you about Stafford. I think that people will be rooting for Stafford. If anybody can live in the city of Detroit for 10 years and survive, I think most people are like, I'm pulling for that guy. He's a gamer.
Exactly.
That guy's a survivor. As far as Odell goes, I think more people are rooting against Odell.
Oh, fuck that. After the Baker shit, rooting for Odell.
Except Instagram models in town, but yeah.
Yeah, Instagram models and boat captains. Outside of that demographic, I don't know if you're going to find a lot of people out there. And his dad. His dad actually should be the MVP for putting together that highlight reel and get him shipped out of town. I don't know. I think the Bengals are just such a fun story to root for because you never see a team that's this big of underdogs going into the season, outperforming expectations like this, and making it all the way to the Super Bowl.
It's incredible also to see Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase be able to do what they're doing. Plus, they added T. Higgins, and he's an incredible receiver. So to see what Burrow was doing to college defense, watch him and Chase do it to NFL defenses, plus Higgins. I mean, they're going to be good for a long time.
They're tight ends out there, right? He broke his shit last week.
He's probably out.
Yeah,
but T. Higgins is a big enough possession receiver.
The only part about them, I think some people are rooting against the Bengals just because they don't like the owner, which I get. He's probably the cheapest owner in all of sports. He got to the Super Bowl purely by accident this time.
Right.
He hit the gold mine with Joe Burrow, but this guy does not pay for anything. So he's probably secretly upset that he has to pay for people to fly out to LA, and there's more expenses he has to incur.
Like the Oakland Athletics winning a World Series.
Yeah, exactly. They kind of backed their way into the Super Bowl by accident because they happened to get great players in the draft that were able to put it all together really, really quick.
Whose idea was that? Was that Zach Taylor that was like, I'm going to get Burrow and then Chase, and I'm going to make sure it happens? Who on the Bengals was that genius? Because that was a really great idea. Whoever had that,
I think it's probably Zach Taylor. I don't know.
Yeah, well then he deserves to be in the Super Bowl. Yeah,
I can't imagine them paying somebody else to have personnel decision besides their head coach. I actually think the owner has some personnel say too on that team. He's like a junkyard version of Jerry Jones.
Right. Yeah, sleazier Jerry Jones, cheaper. What's it called? Cheap. I did see a funny name too. Talking back to the Detroit connection with Stafford, they were like, "This is basically the closest Detroit fans are ever going to get to a Super Bowl because it's Stafford, and then at halftime, Eminem's performing." They're like, "This is like Detroit's time."
That's a good point.
Yeah. Let's get Kid Rock in the mix somewhere.
Oh yeah, he's got a new song.
I have an ICP. ICP needs to do a guest appearance at the halftime show too. In between like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, bring out the Juggalos, baby.
Hell yeah.
Have you heard Kid Rock's new single?
Oh my God.
It's called like We the People.
Oh yeah. You mean the future national anthem of the United States?
Yeah, We the People. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll play on Inauguration
It's
Day
powerful.
when Trump gets in. So what are you guys going to do this week? Other than the drive?
So that's about it. So we're driving. Once we get there, we're going to do some interviews. We're doing the Dozen live, the trivia contest. We've got a lot of interviews scheduled all over town. So gonna keep pretty busy that way, I think.
Nice. Yeah. Just set up a little remote studio.
I think we're still blacklisted from going to any of the actual. Yeah, going to be blacklisted from going to any actual NFL events. Our pictures might still be up on Radio Row.
Is that going to stop you from trying to sneak in, though? Are you done with the FBI getting arrested and stuff? Or are you going to, spoiler alert, you're going to try to sneak in anywhere?
I cannot confirm nor deny if I'll be breaking any laws.
Good. That's good. I like how you're leaving it up to mystery on that one. Because
yeah, well, I don't want to telegraph my next moves.
You keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, that's Art of War. You've been reading up.
Yep. Yes. Did you guys read Art of War?
No.
I have one. I placed one on the bookshelf behind me, but I have never read a single page.
It's boring as fuck. The book is pretty much telling you when you are outnumbered, don't try to fight them.
There you
go. And everybody's like, holy shit. This guy makes a lot of sense.
It's like a fortune cookie.
Run away.
Yeah.
Eric, what's the food situation on the road between the four of you guys? Like what's the dynamic when it comes time to eat? What are you guys grubbing on the road?
Good question. We're still in the honeymoon phase of the car ride where we've only been in the car for like, I don't know, 4 hours at this point. So we don't fart in front of each other yet. We're still like combing our hair, all that shit. I think we're going to be, I got some jerky in here right now. We got some cookies and we're probably just going to be eating at gas stations and truck stops along the way. I want to pick up a piece of memorabilia or some sort of accessory at every truck stop that we stop at. Because they've got some, as well as I do.
Yes.
They've got some great, the Pugs sunglasses are always a massive hit.
Oh, they're amazing. Yeah.
I love those. We'll see. Things are going to get weird after the first couple of days. We'll just get like cabin fever inside this truck, I'm sure.
Makes sense.
Okay.
I'm glad we got you early.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You should go to McDonald's and get one of their menu hacks and then join our contest on Hard Factor that we're doing.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your contest?
We'll have a McDonald's inside of Love's somewhere.
It's you get a hack, you post a photo of the hack, then you add us, you at McDonald's, and you tag Hard Factor sent me. Very simple.
Gotcha.
Do you know what the hacks are?
I know there's the McGangbang.
No. Okay,
no.
They changed it up.
Okay, yeah.
They changed it up. Now you can order. Unfortunately, they did not include the McGangbang on the menu officially. But now you can order the Crunchy Double, the Land, Air, and Sea. These other type.
Describe them. Well, what's the Crunchy
meals.
Double?
The Crunchy Double is the one I really would personally recommend it. I've tried it. I like it. It's the McDouble and then a 6-piece McNuggets that you then put inside the bread. Okay, and they give you a dipping sauce. Now I tried barbecue. When I ate mine, I would highly suggest going sweet and sour. I had buyer's remorse immediately when I didn't go sweet and sour on the sauce.
The Land, Air, and Sea is the craziest one.
Yeah, we were talking about the Land, Air, and Sea actually on macrodosing this week because we did an episode on fast food.
Right.
And it's a filet-o-fish, a beef patty,
Mm-hmm.
And then it's the McChicken, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which that's a very loose interpretation of air, I think.
Yeah.
Just putting a chicken.
Yeah, it doesn't really fly, does it? Yeah. And it's the existing Big Mac, so it's like already the two to three beef patties plus the fillet of fish plus the McChicken, so it's quite a sandwich. It's a big boy,
right?
Yeah,
and the farm raised fish, it's probably a land to be fair.
The land.
It just didn't ring as good, you know.
The triple land.
Triple land didn't test as well.
Nice. There you go. All right. Sounds like he's in. He's in the contest.
Yeah, we'll definitely get some McDonald's along the way.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
I'll send you the picture and the directions. Don't worry.
Okay.
Nice work, Wes.
And then what?
That's all I care about in this whole thing.
Good plug, Wes. Yeah, we gotta get that.
What's in it for Wes?
Yeah. Hey, the Commanders, huh? All right.
Wes loves McDonald's. I think Wes it's his white whale. We've been trying to court McDonald's and Costco for a long time, and Wes has got him in his crosshairs.
Yeah, they see our interacting. They interact.
They're on the radar.
Yeah, they know what we're doing now. So.
But yeah, okay. So one last question.
We gotta wrap it up.
Okay, one last question. We've had some interest in Billy's geopolitical takes in general on the Discord server for Hard Factor. You know, since we're talking the news, and I think that they're interested to know what Billy would think. What's his perfect form of government? What would he think a modern government should do these days? You know, to govern its citizens.
Good. That's a good question. I will ask him. I'll also say that on an upcoming episode of Macrodosing, we're going to write our own constitution. From scratch.
Nice.
And
all right,
really get into the details. But I'll ask Billy real quick.
Listen to that
Billy,
one to get the full take. But yeah.
So Billy, they want to know what in your opinion, what would be the perfect form of government? So just talk loud, and I'll be right here.
There he is.
AI communism. Can you hear him?
Yeah, AI communism. Okay.
Oh.
Billy, can you put that in like three, can you put that in 3 sentences? Yeah.
Talk loud, Billy. We're passing a truck.
Okay. Yeah. Focus
on a big curve. We're gonna be safe, Billy.
It's okay. You have time, Billy. Focus. Focus.
Billy get nervous when he passes.
That car
trucks?
drives itself.
Billy almost wrecked us coming out of the very first turn of the trip. No joke. We were leaving the parking lot, and Billy almost.
Wasn't such a good drive when we crashed.
He saved you. It sounds like he saved you.
You did. All right, Billy. So AI communism. Speak loudly.
The perfect communism, but the reason communism doesn't work is because of people. So you got to get a perfectly engineered artificial intelligence to be in charge of the communism.
Got it. So Billy's in favor of some billionaire, probably Jeff Bezos, developing a system of, I don't know, some sort of software system that will control everything about your life.
But it would be totally fair.
It is a shame Pat is not on the show right now, because he would
to me like it's
like that.
Billy just kind of described fascism, but
yeah, it's definitely controlled by the owner of a company. But yeah.
And he also described that movie WALL-E, where all the humans get super fat because the computer's in charge and won't let them do anything.
He described the movie I, Robot, starring Will Smith.
Yeah, dystopia.
Billy's like,
Billy's
like, I'd like to be a slave to Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I think
so
that would
dangerous.
work out well.
That's so dangerous.
Oh, it's a dystopia.
Yeah, we got it.
I think that AI communism's got legs. I'm excited to hear that episode of Macrodosing with the entire constitutions from everybody. We already went long earlier, so we got to wrap it up. Eric,
safe travels, man. Hope you guys get there safe and have a fun time.
Give us a Super Bowl prediction score real quick. Let's hear it.
All right. I'm going to go Bengals 24, Rams 20.
Love
I
it.
like that.
Love it.
I like
Good
that.
Squares.
I took Bengals.
That's the under.
That's good squares, too. 4-0. Super Bowl squares, yeah.
Well, and I have no idea how we're going to get there. That is just entirely with my heart.
No, yeah.
I like it.
I like it.
I like it. I think hail to the commies and also Houday.
So there you go.
Yes.
Let's
well
cash
done,
these
comrade.
tickets.
Thanks for joining. Have a safe trip.
Yeah, good luck on the ice.
All right. Bye, guys. Thanks, Wes.
Later.
Bye.
All right. Oh, we got to do the wheel. So let's do the wheel.
Oh shit.
That was close. Well, we're using the stream.
Yeah. We're using the
good.
stream here.
We're good. I'm pulling up the wheel. I got the wheel right here.
That was close.
I got the wheel.
We had a good time talking to our buddy, and we almost forgot about those.
Very close. You get time flies when you're having fun with an old pal.
That's right.
That's got to be confusing for some people. He's Eric to us. He's PFT commenter to everybody else. If you're unaware.
Yeah, I didn't.
You guys situation there.
I don't know who started calling him Eric, but I think we just went for it.
Wes, I think Wes did.
Wes started it.
I appreciate it because
who cares?
Normally that's what I call him, anyways. All right, let's go. Cup of coffee in the big time tomorrow is going to be.
Oh, that's me.
That's Mark.
Oh, it's Mark.
That's me big time. I'm gonna start writing that tonight.
I was gonna get hammered all night, man.
Yeah. Now I gotta start
the wheel fucked me.
Yeah, that's gonna cost me 2 cups of wine.
There you go. TikTok international moment is going to be. It's going to be Wes.
Nice.
Okay.
We swapped.
I like that.
This was a payback week for mainly Pat, but Will and Pat had an easier week. This is a do good week for Pat. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and then voicemails and
it's going to be Will, obviously.
Yeah. Yep.
It is. Look at that.
Unbelievable.
5th out of 6 weeks. Every week we've done the wheel. It's been
at least how many weeks? So we've done the wheel
5
starting
weeks?
December 30th was our first day.
So 5 weeks.
5 weeks. So
you've gotten 4 of 5.
4 of 5, and I think I had voicemails the week before we started.
Yeah, probably.
So
like you got the dice given to you or something, or
yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure I've had 5 of 6. So
that's
just my thing now.
Hey,
that's how the wheel giveth.
There's a few in the voicemail folder in the email.
Quality sounding ones.
Yeah, quality sounding ones. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, beautiful. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna have voicemails and reviews is gonna be lit as always.
Yeah, I might stick around for this one. We'll see.
Oh, nice.
But thanks for sticking around with us today. It was a fun one for us. We're going long, so why don't we just wrap it up? We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great fucking day.
Patreon.com/hardfactor